After months of wondering when the first trailer for Star Wars Resistance would drop, it's finally here. It's very much a teaser and doesn't give us much in the way of story or overall plot. It more gives us a good look at the art style, the tone, and the main character Kazuda Xiono. StarWars.com tells us the first hour-long episode premiering on October 7th is called The Recruit. Poe and BB-8 assign Kaz to the Colossus, where he meets a cast of colorful new aliens, droids, and creatures. While undercover to spy on the threat of the First Order, Kaz works as a mechanic and lives with Poe's old friend Yeager, a veteran pilot who operates a starship repair shop run by his crew, Tam, Niku, and a battered old astromech called Bucket. Kaz soon finds himself in over his head with his newfound friend BB-8, as he'll have to compete in dangerous sky races, keep his mission a secret from his newfound family, and avoid the danger of the First Order. But let's get to the trailer. I want to talk about the art style first. We've known since April this would be anime inspired, and I'll admit I am completely out of my depth when it comes to anime, but I thought the look of the show was pretty cool, especially when it comes to the ships and flying. The faces still have a very cartoony feel, which is appropriate, it's going to be on the Disney Channel after all, and some of the expressions reminded me of Link in the cutscenes for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That might take some getting used to for me, but I think the ship animations look gorgeous, and most of you probably know I'm a sucker for stories about pilots, so I expect I'll be into this series pretty quickly. But the art style is a good segue into the tone of the show, because I can already see people complaining about this feeling very childish, despite the fact that we've known this would be a Disney Channel cartoon for children since April. So I want to jump back in time to Star Wars Rebels real quick, because I almost didn't watch that show, and I may not have started if I didn't have this channel. I didn't like the art style initially, and I definitely felt like it was overly childish, but I stuck with it, and by the end of the first season, I was hooked, and then as the series went on, it got progressively more mature. That's the thing with these kids shows, is that they tend to grow up with their target audience. The Resistance trailer really gave me a Rebels Season 1 vibe. I expect we'll have some silly, childish humor, I mean we can see it in the trailer, but I also expect that the show won't necessarily stay that way. Okay, that stuff out of the way, let's get into the trailer details and really break it down. First, I just really like what I assume is Kazuda's ship. It looks very X-Wing inspired, but also cobbled together, or maybe it was once a Z-95. This green ship has a couple of interesting marks on it. First, I can see what looks like an N1 starfighter, and to its left, I see what looks like the Millennium Falcon. In the book Bloodline, which I assume takes place very shortly before this series, Han is known to be like a manager for racers, so maybe that's his logo. Maybe we could actually see Han at some point in the show. This whole race through rings that is shown throughout the trailer reminds me of the book Lost Stars, where Thane and Ciena have to do something similar. They compete with their fellow Imperial cadets on speeder bikes, and they have to race through rings. StarWars.com tells us that the setting for most of the trailer is called Colossus. It's a massive refueling platform on an outer rim ocean planet. Like I mentioned, we know this show is about Kazuda being recruited by the Resistance, so we have Poe here sporting his normal flight suit, but Kazuda can be seen wearing what might be a New Republic flight suit. That's definitely the New Republic insignia on his shoulder, so it's possible that, like Poe, Kaz was part of the New Republic Navy before joining the Resistance. I'm hopeful that means we'll get to see more of that faction since we got next to nothing about them in the movies. There are plenty of looks at the new characters, but unfortunately we don't know anything about them. This girl looks like she'll act as a sort of rival and love interest for Kazuda. This woman looks like a mechanic that probably works to keep Kaz from falling out of the sky. But I'm most interested in this guy. I think he's a green-skinned Klatooinian, but he just seems excited to be there. I like his style. I'm assuming one of them will be Tam and the other will be Niku. I wish I had more to say about them, but we just don't know yet. In this shot, I can at least point out that the symbol hanging in the back is that of the Journeyman Protectors, who were Mandalorians like Finn Rau in Star Wars Rebels, so maybe we'll get some new or familiar Mandalorian characters as well. Also, this girl is a Thelan. The hair and the eye color match Goody's from Star Wars Rebels, so maybe this is her all grown up. Then again, I feel like she should be about 40 years old in Resistance, so it's probably a new character. This shot shows Kaz meeting with an Alina, and they're taking fire from someone. I don't know if these are First Order ships or something else. They sound like TIE fighters when they fire, but they're too small to make out. This could be a new TIE, or it could be like a militia group. Again, the book Bloodline shows us First Order sympathizers who aren't full-on stormtroopers or anything. Since we know Kaz's mission from Poe is simply to find out who supports the Resistance and who supports the First Order, I'm guessing we'll get our fair share of trying to tell the good guys from the bad, and the First Order might not be all that prevalent early on. That's not to say they'll be completely absent. I'm not sure what to make of this shot of a stormtrooper. Is it Phasma in yellowish lighting? Is it a gold-plated stormtrooper? Or is it a normal stormtrooper who really takes polishing his armor seriously? Who's to say? But they're firing a stun blast at someone. At this point in time, the First Order is still like a behind-the-scenes group. They don't really make themselves known until the destruction of Hosni and Prime, so I wouldn't be surprised if full-on conflict with stormtroopers like this doesn't happen every episode. And that's about all I have to say. This is a fine first look, and if we do take a step back from just straight-up Resistance versus First Order storytelling, that could be refreshing. We might see more sides of the galaxy and how people live their lives when the galaxy is ultimately at peace. It's hard to say much more, so hopefully we get a more story-based trailer soon. I'm at least excited by the prospect of pilot-centric stories, and I'm very optimistic about the series as a whole. If you want to read even more details about the trailer, I link to my friends making Star Wars and their article in the description. They go into some things that I don't and speculate a little more on the plot, so check that out if you're hungry for more information. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.